My son's birthday wish was to get a new mom. Alice wasn't even angry. She even clapped in approval. Then she had a moving company empty all the furniture in the house. Right after that, Alice walked over to her son. She took the clothes he was wearing. Because everything in this house had been bought by her, Benjamin was still yelling, saying he would never allow Alice to come back. Little did he know, Alice had already completely given up on this home. Earlier, for her son who was allergic to milk, she went out in the rain to buy a special cake. But when she returned, she saw Jessica sitting in her seat. Benjamin even mocked her, saying Alice looked as dirty as a beggar. Alice had no choice but to go change. But she overheard Benjamin saying that Alice would accept anything as long as it was for her son. That was the last straw for Alice. She remembered earlier, her son had thrown away the crystal Benjamin gave Jessica and blamed it on her. Benjamin didn't believe Alice's explanation. He punished her by making her get the crystal from the water, which seriously injured her. Alice took off her wedding ring and went to tell Benjamin that she wanted a divorce. But her son said he hadn't wanted to live with Alice for a long time. Hearing that, Alice threw the cake away and turned to leave. Benjamin yelled that Alice couldn't take a joke and gave her 5 seconds to come back. But when the countdown ended, Alice really turned back. Her son mocked her, saying she really had been acting all along, not knowing Alice had already called the moving company. Benjamin threatened divorce to make Alice stop, but she scoffed, saying she should have divorced him long ago. The next morning, Benjamin woke up and realized he no longer had the warm water Alice brought him every morning. And without Alice, his son couldn't even find the toothpaste. Benjamin told him to eat first, but the breakfast made by the maid was terrible. Only then did Benjamin realize how important Alice was. But he still refused to admit he was wrong. Instead, he wanted to order Alice to come back, only to find he had been blocked. Even his son couldn't reach Alice. Then the assistant reported to Benjamin that Alice had put all her personal assets into high-risk investments. His son happily said Alice would come back and apologize when she ran out of money. But he didn't expect Alice was originally a financial genius and had only dropped out for Benjamin. Alice bluntly said she wanted a quick divorce. Then she began preparing for her PhD under a professor, so her best friend recommended Mike, a divorce lawyer. Meanwhile, Benjamin was late to a friend's gathering for the first time. After learning he was troubled by Alice, Jessica offered to help take care of his son. Benjamin agreed immediately, but then his friend told him Alice was downstairs. Benjamin instantly assumed Alice had come to win him back, so he told staff to bring her upstairs. But when Alice saw it was Benjamin, she turned to leave. Seeing this, Benjamin accused her, saying a woman like Alice should stay home with the kids. Alice thought Benjamin must be out of his mind, but Benjamin, trying to tame Alice, actually wanted her to have another child. Luckily, Mike heard the commotion and came to help Alice. He told Benjamin he would sue him for intentional harm. Only then did Benjamin understand Alice was truly divorcing him. He promised he would stop seeing Jessica, but said Alice had to apologize to him. But Alice told him she had never planned to forgive him. Benjamin grabbed a wine bottle, ready to attack. Mike reminded him he'd owe $500,000 in damages. Benjamin immediately stopped, but Alice tossed him $500,000, mocking that she could afford it. On the way out, Alice thanked Mike. Mike remembered how back then, everyone knew he liked Alice. But Alice accepted Benjamin's confession instead. His father never understood why a financial genius like him chose to work as a divorce lawyer back home. When Mike learned Alice wanted to prepare for her PhD, he rented a place near the university for her. Alice worried about the rent, but in the next moment, Mike told her he was her roommate. Alice was stunned. Meanwhile, Jessica was glued to her phone, causing the boy to eat cake and trigger an allergic reaction. When the boy woke up in the hospital, he comforted Jessica, saying it was Alice's fault for not giving birth to a healthy child. Then the mother-in-law arrived. Seeing both Benjamin and her grandson hospitalized, she immediately called Alice to come apologize. But Alice rejected her outright. Soon after, Benjamin got a call from his staff, learning that Alice would attend the finance gala. Benjamin mistakenly thought Alice was going because of him, so he told his son he was going to teach Alice a lesson. Meanwhile, her best friend was praising Alice for making tenfold returns with her investments. Alice said this was just her normal performance. Her goal was to return to being the real Alice. Before the finance gala began, Alice ran into Benjamin's family. The mother-in-law mocked Alice's cheap dress, telling her to go back home. Her son bragged that Jessica was getting the silver award. but Alice didn't bother responding. Seeing that, Benjamin said that if she apologized, he'd allow her to attend with them. Alice asked whether he had forgotten that she had already divorced him. Benjamin exploded in anger and told security not to let Alice in. He then entered with his family. After the gala began, the professor invited the Gold Award winner to speak. Jessica stood up in shock. The award recipient was Alice.